Hey, I'm Dave Clayton from GuitarBreakdown.com. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey man, it's Phil X, and thanks for stopping by GuitarBreakdown.com. Yeah!
Hey guys, David Clayton here from GuitarBreakdown.com. I want to thank you for stopping by, watching another video. I apologize for the intro confusion. We were trying to kind of turn you upside down and make you think that Phil X was actually doing the lesson here. It would be awesome if we can get a guy like Phil X to do a guest lesson here. And this year is turning out awesome. Man, I am still doing this ninja mind trick on you. Phil X is, sorry about that, so stupid. Phil X is actually doing a guest lesson here. We've been working on this for quite a while. This is one of the things that we mentioned in previous lessons, that we were having some special events. We still have like 2 or 3 other special events that we're really trying to get done, hopefully by the summertime. Still working on the website, all that. But this series of lessons, we've got about 3 or 4 artists that are lined up to do guest spots. They're all guys you know, guys we've done lessons on, and so I hope you stick around for that. But this lesson with Phil, we've been working on for about 2 months. We tried to get it out at the beginning of January, but the holidays were a little crazy. And then the NAMM show came into town, and Phil got crazy busy with sessions. And you know, at the NAMM show, he's got his Phil X signature model Yamaha guitar that he was doing stuff for. He's got the Evil Robot he was doing stuff for, his P90 pickup. So he's got all this stuff going on, plus his drill stuff. He's been playing a lot. And so we've been trying to lock this down, but we've had to cancel 3 or 4 times. And then on our end, we had to cancel once or twice because things got crazy with us. So finally, we got this going. And we hope you stick around because there's a lot of these. Again, there's other artists we got involved. Phil's doing 2 or 3 more of these lessons. And we're actually going to do a series of interviews, which are probably going to be a multi-part kind of thing because it's a lot of questions. We've had a lot of questions about Phil's playing on our videos that we did of him, and he's got a lot of questions. He always gets emails and stuff, and he just doesn't get to them all. He's so busy, all this kind of stuff. He tries to get to as many as he can, but so we're going to try and answer a bunch of those questions. So we hope you stick around for that too. As far as this lesson goes, we're going to break down Phil's song for his band The Drills called "I Wish My Beer Was As Cold As Your Heart." Awesome title. If you don't have the CD, go to his website, pick it up. I will put the links to everything, of course, as always, down below in the description. It's a really cool solo. It's a really cool technique he uses. And this is one thing about Phil, too, that I learned while doing this lesson. It's amazing. A lot of rock guys are kind of, you know, they play by ear. They don't know a lot of theory, but they're so talented that they just kind of like the Eddie Van Halen, the George Lynch kind of thing. I mean, it's like they don't really know. Even Alan Holdsworth, he doesn't know traditional theory. He just kind of makes up his names for his own scales. He knows what he's doing, but he doesn't really know the traditional, you know, way of naming things or calling things. And he's talked about that a million times. So I thought Phil was one of those guys, and I was unbelievably blown away and surprised that how, when he broke down this solo, I mean, he knew every element of it, where it came from, how he came up with it, what parts were just improvised and how he stumbled onto it, and then he started dissecting it. But he doesn't get crazy into theory, so he doesn't dissect things to where his mind's just going, you know, into that world a lot, because he, like most artists, want to free themselves of that. You know, you learn the theory and then you kind of forget it and you go back to it when you need a little help or something. Anyway, long story short, he just blew me away with how much theory kind of stuff he did know. And he's awesome. Great player, great personality and energy. And I've seen him a bunch of times playing here in Hollywood. We just saw him open up for Steel Panther. And he just, the Drills just rocked it. It was amazing. So anyway, another thing that was amazing about Phil, and I'll try to make this quick, was that when I go away for like a holiday or something, man, 2 or 3 days before, I am out of service to anybody. Like, I don't visit anybody. I don't do it because I'm so busy packing and organizing and making sure I have everything. I just don't have time to do anything. And Phil, he's going on a tour in the UK for, I think, 10 shows or something. So if you're in the UK right now, look him up. Look up his website. Again, we'll put the address down below, and hopefully this video will come out he actually left the other day, so hopefully this will be out before he leaves there. But you should check out his show. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun, just high energy, great rock. So anyway, so he came over to do this lesson 10 hours before he was going to fly all the way to the UK from America. And before this, a couple hours before this, he also did a session. So I mean, I can't believe he was generous enough to give us this time. And not only that, he was going to come over for like an hour or something. I didn't want to take up too much of his time. And he stayed here for like 3 hours. It was crazy. Unbelievably generous, unbelievably amazing guitar player. And so I want to thank Phil for being our first guest and making it such an amazing experience. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and we will get to the lesson now. Sorry about all the talk, but I'm so excited about this, and I want to share it with you and the reasons why and all that stuff. So enough silliness, enough talk. Let's get to the lesson. Thanks, guys. All right, so let's get into the lesson part of this. Now, bear in mind, this is kind of a work in progress because this is the first of a series of lessons we're going to do with guest artists. So I'm not really sure how this is all going to edit together. But what we're planning on is Phil's going to go over, he's going to play through the song, the solo, and then he's going to talk a little about it, break it down a little bit, but he's not going to break down, I'm sure he's not going to break down note for note the whole thing. So after he does some of that, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to break it down note for note as we always do. And then we're going to discuss a little bit of theory and a little bit of how you can break some of this into concepts so you could actually use it in your own playing. As opposed to just learning a long lick and that's the only thing you get out of it. So hopefully you stick around for the whole thing because Phil will be popping in and out all the way until the end as far as answering some questions, throwing in some tips, and hopefully we'll get him to slow it down and play it slow. I mean, I'll be doing some of that too. So we're going to try not to make this too long of a lesson, but it is definitely going to be a multi-part lesson. And Phil will be involved in the whole thing, so we hope you stick around for all the parts and hope you guys get a lot out of it. Also, as always, if you look at the description below, there will be a link to a whole bunch of things in this video. Phil's website, some of the things like where you can get his custom guitar, the Evil Robot amp, Fretted Americana, a few of those kind of things. But also there's going to be a link to, there is I believe it's the official video for I Wish My Beer Was As Cold As Your Heart. So I will put a link to that below with a time code of where this solo starts.
Hey man, it's Phil X, and this is what I'm doing in the solo of I Wish My Beer Was As Cold As Your Heart. I call it my banjo lick because I was inspired by a banjo. Jamming with a banjo guy, and I thought, wow, they have some open tuning licky thingies that they do that we can't do on guitar, but what if I make my finger the replacement or the stand-in for the open string? So then you end up doing like stupid things like that. But I'll show you what I had in mind. It's a dissonant lick. I love dissonance. Some people think it sounds like a cat screeching, but fuck them. So it goes something like this. That's the first lick. Now that's a cool lick, right? That's a nice phrase. And then you gotta slide back, because I'm starting the first two licks on the D string, gotta slide back to the G string, so. So I'm just gonna continue and then we'll get dead breaking it down. Okay, not perfect, but close. So. So I'll do the whole solo for you just so you see the context of it. I'll go, I wish my beer was as cool as your heart. Whoa, let's tune down. Suck it. Now it was easier. When I recorded it, I had 24 frets, so I had more room down there. Sometimes I cheat it live and I go that kind of thing. So I came up with that just long ago when I was coming up with the silliest stuff ever. I was doing stuff like that. And then you get that kind of thing. So I kind of like that messy kind of dissonance, kind of like, oh my god, almost blackboard scratching kind of shit. So that's how I came up with that solo stuff. Basically how I came up with it is I would just go, if I'm going this way and want as many notes ringing out as possible, where would my next note be? So it'd be like, which sounds great because it's the open string, right? I don't know why some phrases have 4 or 5 notes and some have 2. It's just the way the timing thing worked out. I just, oh, this sounds good and this sounds not, yeah, that kind of works like that. But the cool thing about it is once I was doing it, and it's funny when you start getting fans on YouTube, because I'll be like, and then I'll be like, I'm playing a gig somewhere and I go, and then I'll be taking a solo and I'll be like, and people now, they're like, hey, he did the solo from I Wish My Beer Was as Cold as Your Heart in Funk 49 by James Gang. And it's like, what, am I not allowed? It's my lick. So the thing is, I can do it in E, A, I can do it in G. That's a hard one. And do it in D, you can't go very far though. That kind of thing.